hear it? It beeps when it's in reverse. It makes a sound. That's crazy. What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. It's snowing. Snowing. There's snow on the leaf. There's snow on the leaf. It's crazy. Decided to wait a day to film a little bit more of this video. It got colder here today. I've been driving the Leaf in cold weather now for a couple days. Had some cold weather before we left, and overall my experience in driving in the cold weather has been pretty good. Yesterday was really windy. It was the coldest it's been. The first time I've charged the Leaf to 100 was yesterday, and it was brutal. The wind and the cold definitely affected the battery life. It was the previous days I'd driven it, we'd been in the 60s and the 50s. Yesterday we were in the 30s, and I think the transition, the quick fall in temperature, definitely, either in my mind or actually in the car, played with the car a little bit, got significantly, okay, not significantly less, I got less miles than I would have on a normal day. I would say that on the battery yesterday, full charge, 100%, in the cold, I probably would have gotten around 62 miles-ish had I driven it all the way down, which I didn't. Got it home, parked it, charged it for today. Charged it back up to 100 today, and I will say it's driving better in the cold today. Maybe I'm used to it more and I'm driving better. Maybe the feeling of getting back in the Leaf after being gone for a week is over and I'm just driving better. It's actually snowing right now, which is crazy. And overall, driving in the cold, there's plenty of videos out there that you'll see that, the Leaf is a really good winter car. It does great in the winter, especially, if you're driving it in within your means and driving it in a way that isn't, where the battery life and the range aren't going to come into play in the cold. I'm with the heaters and the wheel heater, it's a great winter car. It does really well. The weight is nice for driving around in these conditions. This is Texas, so the snow isn't really sticking to the ground, so I'm not having to deal with any of that, although my understanding is that it performs very well. There's a lot of articles about that you can go find. Overall, the cold weather has definitely given me some anxiety, worrying about what the experience is going to be like. But so far it's been great. The car's done well. Still doing exactly what I want it to do. And it's still exactly the car that I thought it would be. We did have a pretty big trip over the holidays. I hope your holidays were nice. We drove the Honda up to Indiana, basically Chicagoland and back. We stopped through Pawhuska, Oklahoma on the way back. If you're a Food Network fan, you probably have heard that before. It's where all the Pioneer Woman stuff is. I've got some video from that trip that I'll probably post, just some random family stuff that you can check out. The mileage on the Honda was great. I'll post a separate video about driving the Honda up for the holidays. A little bit out of time and chronological order, if you will, but still worth watching. Really impressed with our 2016 Honda Accord's gas mileage. We were getting essentially 500 miles on a full tank. I've never had a car that I've owned come anywhere close to that. It was really incredible. In a trip that used to take us 3 or 4 tanks of gas, it took us 2. So video on that coming soon as well. I hope you guys had a good holiday. For us, it was rough coming back. Both trips around 40 hours total in the car. The trip back, like I said, we went a little out of our way. The kiddo had an ear infection, which then lowered Kristen and I's immune system a little bit. She got sick. I had allergy attacks 3 days in a row when we got back from the change in the climate, and then from something I'm allergic to, obviously, and then from some cigarette smoke that usually doesn't bug me, but just situationally bothered me. And that came in, was working the next day, and everyone was sick that I was working with, and ended up getting sick as well. I've been dealing with that for like a week, and now am starting to feel better, although I'm sure you can probably hear that I'm probably speaking a little louder than I usually do, because I can't really hear out of my right ear because it's still clogged. I'm going to stop and get something to clear that up, hopefully today. Overall, it's a great trip, though, and I did miss this car, though. Missed the Leaf. Excited to be back in it. Excited to keep posting more videos. This is hoping to post a lot more this year, so be on the lookout for that. Let me know what you guys want to know about the Leaf. Leave some comments below. Leave some comments below? What? And I'll answer what I can, make videos about what I can. And like I said, I'll post some videos about the Accord, too, just for the hell of it. Should be fun to see. Got a lot of videos coming about sort of the business and what's going on there, so be on the lookout for that. Plenty going on. Subscribe if you haven't. Lots of fun stuff coming your way. It's the lowest I've seen the temperature gauge in this car. I got the heater on. It's kind of dragging the battery down a little bit, but that's okay. It's cold. Cold in Texas.
Once again.
I love when it snows in Texas. Oh man, except I hate how people drive here when it snows. Made it home. Still dealing with this ear. I gotta do something, I guess. Honestly, the car did really well in the snow. It did really well in the cold. There were some spots on the road where some ice had started to build on the sides, especially bridges. Really, really cold on bridges. No issues. Didn't feel the ice under the tires. I can tell when driving the Leaf that it's heavier, and it seemed that way going over ice. You know, I grew up in Illinois, driving on ice. While challenging, isn't a huge deal for me. I don't like to do it. So, you know, I was sort of looking for that experience. We'll see if this snow melts and we end up with any ice because it's 20 degrees. But overall, Leaf in the cold, I'm feeling pretty good about it. You know, I know a lot of people have worried that, you know, they lose this range and they lose some ability in the snow, but ability definitely not. You are going to lose some range, especially if you want the comforts of the heat. You know, I'm not a big, I don't know. The fact that we treat cars the way we do, and we use the heat in such a way that we essentially boil ourselves or poach ourselves in the car in the heat, is interesting to me. You know, we don't do that anywhere else. Houses, we don't do that. You know, we keep it cool at night. It's very strange to me that we do that in cars. I guess it's the ultimate comfort thing. It's being in full control. And then obviously, you know, combustion engine cars have full access to that heat since they're creating so much heat on their own. It is it's an interesting subject. It does make driving an electric car interesting. And I overall really... I was looking forward to the experience. It did give me some anxiety, like I mentioned before, but it performed well. I feel good about it. No worries going forward. So that's it. I hope you guys are good. Like I said, be sure to subscribe down below. We'll see you next time.